Friday night tonight here in Columbus. Dual meet beginning at 157 pounds. Maddox Shaw for Ohio State. Victor Voinovich against the nod for the Hawkeyes. Voinovich 5-4. He did wrestle in the match with Ohio State mid-November at the National Duels in Tulsa. Iowa fell to Ohio State 27-12. He wrestled a Brandon Cannon in that matchup. Cannon, number one ranked at 157, is out tonight for the Buckeyes. And Jim, you look at Ohio State this season, 16-0. They've been fantastic. This Iowa team 9-4, but don't sleep on the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, they've got, I'm sure they come in here, they see a path to victory, particularly with the replacement here at the Shaw at 157. If they can turn this match, that'd be a good start for them and be in a better spot. In that duel, it started at 125, and Buzakas got off to a flying start here, got a fall, and they went on to win 4 more matches here, and that was really the difference in the meet.
Ohio State in that National Duels final won the first 5. Of course, that 1-2-3 punch with Buzakas, Davino, and Mendez. Victor Voinovich, a redshirt senior from Brecksville, Ohio, a 2-time Ohio State champion. Brecksville, Ohio, about a 2-hour drive northeast here from Columbus. Here's a shot from Voinovich into the defensive Shaw, who neutralizes him with an underhook.
And I'm sure this is a big match for Victor Voinovich here, coming back to Ohio. Senior campaign right there, just see a shot. And he's a good wrestler, good tough wrestler, hard to take down. A guy that has difficulty maybe getting to his offense a little bit, but he's still a tough out to be able to go ahead and break through his head-hands defense here. A real challenge for Shaw.
Maddox Shaw, 16-5 on the season, 2-1 in duels. He lost to Andrell Taylor, 11-3, up at 157 pounds 2 weeks ago in Lincoln. All of his other matches, Jim, had been down at 149.
Yeah, he's moving up here in class, and that makes a difference, but got warned for stalling right there. Jaron Quincy kind of quick on that call. The fans let him know about it. Really hasn't been much action, and we've seen here where Voinovich has had a difficult time getting to his offense, and when you go ahead and push and get that stall warning here, you're in a position to be able to answer. You see that Shaw was able to go ahead and take that shot pretty much straight on, but he didn't have much of a counter for it, wasn't ready to go behind.
Inside of 30 seconds, scoreless in his first period. Voinovich in his 3rd season in Iowa City. His first season up at 157. He began his college career at Ohio State, or Oklahoma State rather. Was a national qualifier in 2023. Reached the round of 16. Final seconds in this first period. Again, beginning this dual meet at 157 pounds. Starting lineups are brought to you by Defense Soap. Defend what you have built. In the first half, key matchups with Kennedy and Hartschel at 174. Keeter and Feldman at heavyweight.
Yeah, Keeter and Feldman at heavyweight's a huge one, because Keeter didn't wrestle in that match at the National Duels, but then you see Buzakas, Davino, Mendez here. That 1-2-3 punch has been so effective here for the Buckeyes.
The Hawkeyes starting second period underneath. Again, Ohio State without Brandon Cannon, the top-ranked 157-pounder in the country. And Voinovich, quick escape inside of 15 seconds, and the Hawkeye strikes first. A tally on the board for Voinovich.
Yeah, that's important to get that first quick escape right there. Voinovich really tough in the top position, so there's no scoring here, and it's really been tough for these two to open up against each other. So if there's no scoring here, we could see that the riding might be a factor here with only 12 seconds of riding time.
Earlier this season, Shaw defeated Antonio Avila of Wyoming for his first career dual meet victory in the Buckeye singlet.
Here, man. Let's go.
See the first decent, lower level change there by Shaw. Voinovich into the shot right there. He comes underhook to the far knee right there, pops him up and gets him up in the air and scores.
Good second period here for Victor Voinovich. An escape and a takedown. Voinovich did not compete last year. This is his first Big Ten duel of the season. He's 3-2 in duels for Iowa this season.
Yeah, pretty good with these legs. Puts that right leg in, able to go ahead and work that power half on the left-hand side right there. Shaw finds his elbows out, and kind of bad position. Going to be pretty easy to break down here. Gets both legs in now.
Voinovich getting the nod tonight over Jordan Williams.
Now improve.
Who has wrestled the bulk of the matches here at this weight class for Iowa. Inside of 30 seconds, Voinovich has Shaw flat. Riding time over 30 seconds.
Use this ride to work out of it. Let's go here. Yeah. He's working.
Hawkeyes looking to draw first blood here at 157. Final seconds in the second period. Voinovich leads it 4-0 after 5 minutes. Here's that takedown.
Yeah, take a look. Left-handed shot. Watch his right arm right here. Come up high as he comes up and pops his hips in, gets a wrinkle in the back of his neck, steps up with that here, and a good finish there. Didn't even give him time to kind of drape over the top and try to catch some ankles. It was a good shot.
Victor Voinovich on the team with his brother Cale. We'll see Patrick Kennedy at 174. He's got a brother on the team, Joey, and Drew Ayala.
You good on that there?
Brother of Drake Ayala. So a few sets of brothers on the Hawkeyes roster. An escape and a quick one by Matic Shaw.
Shaw being the aggressor right now here. He's given up riding time, but he needs to be effective on the feet if he's going to get back in this match, and hopefully do it before 4 seconds left in the period.
Work through it.
To be able to cut the riding time as well. So see what he does here in this situation.
Double overs.
Yeah, he's got some double overs going here, but he doesn't really have him pushing back, and so he's going to break free from it.
Work here, man.
See Voinovich basically playing the edge right there.
Collar tie. There is a stall call on Voinovich, so each guy has been hit with stalling.
Yeah.
All right, I got one on each of them.
That was just a bad visual. He just had his left foot out and kind of a deep staggered stance, and now he's kind of not moving back to the center. But, to try to win this thing with a minute left with just stall warnings, it's not going to be really possible. So, that 4-1 lead.
4-1, right?
So, he's got to do it on the mat if he's going to he's got to get a takedown to get things going.
Shaw this season was 7th at the Midlands, 5-2. Won the Purple Raider Open title at Mount Union, but he's down by 3. And Voinovich with riding time over 60 seconds. He's got to be getting that sprint now. Go slide by attempt.
Slide by attempt gets back in on the leg, but fought off pretty well by Voinovich. Again on the outer third.
Voinovich knows exactly where he's at. And a stalemate is whistled. Will bring these two back to the center, which is 16 seconds.
What we talked about earlier, he's got to have a takedown with 12 seconds left. Gets right in on a shot. And look,
puts Voinovich on a hip. Down to 10 seconds. There's that neutral danger count. Voinovich draped over the back.
Pretty tight on that waist.
And it will be a 5-1 decision with the riding time point for Victor Voinovich. Picks up his first Big Ten dual meet victory of the season and puts Iowa out in front.
Just like you said, Shane, that's a reversal from what happened before here. The 57-pound match with Brandon Cannon was all Cannon. I'll tell you what, it's just a little bit different. And this meet started at 157. I don't know who basically decided to go ahead, but that's a big factor too, starting this thing at 57, get these first two matches where Iowa's heavily favored.
165 pounds, ranked 3rd in the nation. Mikey Caliendo for the Hawkeyes, the 3-time All-American from Geneva, Illinois, and redshirt freshman Ethan Burden. Burden 14-6 from Dublin, Ohio. Was a 4-time placer and a 2-time state champion at Dublin Kaufman High School. A big opportunity. No Patty Gallagher tonight for Ohio State. Mikey Caliendo, Big Ten and national finalist. 9 bonus point victories for Caliendo. And Mikey Caliendo, Jim, as consistent as they come in the country.
No question about it here. And he's in a situation now where we've been impressed with Ethan Burden, that his ability to go ahead and kind of tie people up. He's got pretty good skills here, and this is a good challenge for him. And don't be surprised if he gets out of a few things here just because of his great defense, great balance.
Burden 2-1 in Big Ten duels. He beat Tyler Lillard of Indiana 2-1. Lost to LJ Adaujo 1-0, and then last Friday scored a major decision over Cody Gable of Wisconsin, and there's a takedown on the edge for the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, I love to see that. Look at the patience that Caliendo showed right there. He's looking for that far ankle right there, and Burden slyly slid that out, kind of played hide and seek with it a little bit, and just patiently got to it. A lot of guys get in too much of a hurry or drive him off the mat and lose position in there, and he showed excellent finish there against a tough guy to finish on.
Arm chop off the whistle. Burden broken down flat to his chest. Caliendo in his third season in Iowa City, over 60 wins. Fourth at the national tournament in 2024. Last March in Philly, lost in that final to Mitchell Messenbrink. And he was an All-American at North Dakota State back in 2023, taking 7th. He has been fantastic in that all-black Iowa singlet. Riding time at 40 seconds for Caliendo as he extends Burden underneath. If you are Burden here, Jim, what's the answer?
Well, you got to try to get your hips back into him a little bit. See how his knees are flared out? That's only one way you can go ahead and get out. And I think that's pretty much an intentional release. So I guess to answer your question, Shane, is just wait for the intentional release.
And if you are Caliendo, Jim, a situation in this duel meet, Iowa needs bonus points from Caliendo here at 165.
Yeah, and he's capable of providing here with a good solid attack. Oh, beautiful drop right there. Gets to an angle there, explodes back into him on that angle, and gets the second takedown.
Looking for his 10th bonus point victory of the season. He lost to Ladarian D. Lockett of Oklahoma State at the national duels. He'll get another crack at Lockett perhaps on February 22nd when Iowa heads to Stillwater. His other loss to Mitchell Messenbrink in the duel against the Nittany Lions.
Improve here.
Riding time approaching 90 seconds for Caliendo. And there is a stall call on the Buckeye.
30 seconds, stall awarded Ohio State.
Burden this season the Midlands champion. But a tough task tonight against the third-ranked 165-pounder in the country, the three-time All-American, Mikey Caliendo. Slides in an armbar.
Really wearing him down from the top position, and Burden has just had nothing for it, no back pressure, legs out wide like that. It's really going to be a little bit easier for Caliendo to ride. Let's take a look at that second takedown, Shane, because what's important about this, he got the angle right there on the setup. Right there, and then explodes back into right here. Just basically leaves almost his feet right there and driving into him from that angle, just like he's breaking him down.
Tom Brand's already in his 20th season, 15 times. The Hawkeyes have placed top 4 at the national tournament, a 4th place finish in 2025.
Yeah, you see the difference in the two wrestlers right there from the bottom position. Take a look at this really nice mat return, pops up, but watch the action of Caliendo. There's back pressure against Burden. Even with that, keeps his knees up close to his chest and still stays in a pretty good position as they go off the mat.
Hawkeyes have won 4 team titles under head coach Tom Brands, most recently in 2021 as Caliendo adds to his lead with the escape, 7-1.
Oh, beautiful little pick right there, driving across, trying to get the far ankle. You see the ability, the counter ability of Burden now as he squares up. It's well done. A lot of guys will get taken down there.
Absolutely.
And they call stalemate. So avoided a takedown there. Looks like Caliendo was going to finish that.
Caliendo approaching 100 victories in his career.
Good aggressive snap by Caliendo right there. Now he's trying to work him, trying to free off his right hand. Right. Looking at him, see if he's got an elbow pass right there. Ducks to one side. Not really committed to it. Now a shot by Burden.
Straight into the hips of Caliendo.
Yep.
Straight on shot, no angle. 40 seconds in this second period. Iowa leading at 3-0, getting the decision from Victor Voinovich at 157.
And that's the ability that we've seen here with Burden, just be able to get, take a.
Work out of him.
You mentioned the shot. He didn't have much power in it once he got to the legs, but you know what? He was able to go ahead and compete in that position and keep himself into neutral position, not give up points. Counter shot by Caliendo.
Whizzer there from Burden.
Yeah.
Caliendo looking for his third takedown. Going to shove a single leg, trying to chase down that opposite ankle.
Yeah, see how he took it away.
You got the line. Coming out. Action. Center here. Do you need to add any time to the clock? You good?
Head coach Tom Ryan, like Tom Brands in his 20th season. 7 times they have been top 3, 5 times a runner-up. National champs in 2015. Tom Ryan and Tom Brands, teammates at the University of Iowa under head coach Dan Gable.
Not only teammates, but I believe they're roommates.
I believe Tom Ryan was a roommate to Terry, I believe.
Drop down. 1.
Riding time approaching 2 minutes for Caliendo.
Down proof.
And we'll see how Caliendo plays this.
Yeah, we'll see how the coaching staff plays it here. I don't see anybody really making a definitive decision about what they want him to do. It's a critical situation in the meet.
You said it before. Burden's done a really good job competing.
Yes. And even though he hasn't scored points, he hasn't come anywhere close to it, but it's like, his defense has been good, and that's what we complimented him on. Great balance. Knows what the man's trying to do when he attacks him. So he is dangerous in this position. You can't take bad shots against him.
Riding time is locked up for Caliendo.
And 1 3-point takedown here with the riding time amassed here. If you stay in the top position.
But he needs a takedown for bonus points.
Yeah.
Caliendo trying to chase it down.
There's a shot by Burden. He's in.
He will lock his hands. If nothing else, this will take some time off the clock.
And can he score? Right there, see how Caliendo pushing that far knee away, kind of keeping him spread out just like you do if you're trying to ride him, kind of break the legs of the table.
Stalemate whistled. We are down to 36 seconds.
Shot off the whistle. Wow.
Another shot there from Caliendo. Burden collar tie.
Look for some misdirection here.
Another shot there by the Buckeyes.
Does he get his hands locked? No. Now this time it'll be a little bit tougher to follow up, but he goes to the wrist right there. That was really well done. See how he grabs that right wrist to Caliendo? I mean, we're fighting for a team point here.
And Caliendo got off to a quick start.
Wrestle center.
But Burden able to slow down the pace of Mikey Caliendo. And this Covelli Center crowd appreciating the efforts, as it will be an 8-2 decision for Caliendo. You see the disappointments on Mikey Caliendo. And a good majority of fans are giving Ethan Burden a standing ovation, applauding the efforts. Voinovich and Caliendo with decisions for the Hawkeyes. They lead at 6-0. Another chapter coming up in the book of Kennedy and Harchla. It's next. It's Friday Night Wrestling on the Big Ten Network. Caliendo picking up his 12th victory of the season. Iowa out in front 6-0. Patrick Kennedy and Carson Harchla in a top 5 matchup. The 4th meeting between these two at the national duels. Kennedy in sudden victory defeated Harchla 4-1. Harchla won the previous 2 matchups. It is senior nights here in Columbus for the final time inside the Covelli Center in that Ohio State singlets. Carson Harchla up the stairs onto the Resolite. Harchla, an All-American in 2022, 3-time national qualifier. 14-2 on the season. Both his losses in sudden victory. One to Kennedy, as I mentioned. The other one against Nebraska's Chris Minto, 4-1. in Lincoln a couple weeks back. And you know this is going to be physical, Jim.
Yeah, you know it's going to be physical, and who makes the determination here, since those matches have been so close, that to go out there and grab something early, get some sort of early takedown, and not worry about whether you're going to be there all there at the end of the match. It's got to be a concern, because these matches have ended up being wars with a lot of pushing around. They hold their position real well. But can somebody break through and get that early takedown up, make a huge difference in the match?
These two have had very similar careers. Like Hartzler, Kennedy, a 3-time national qualifier. Kennedy, an All-American last March.
Stalemate.
Placing fourth at the national tournament as an 11 seed.
Here, not stalemates.
Both these guys have been at 165 during their career. Kennedy making the Big Ten Finals in 2023 down at 165. I believe that was against Dean Hamady of Wisconsin at that time. No score, 60 seconds in.
And these little techniques right here, you can see Kennedy employing, pulling him down, trying to stuff that head a little bit, make your opponent wear out his back and upper neck area there. Heavy collar ties, good lean.
Snap.
Big back into that front headlock position, and
keep working here.
They're just tough positions to be in for minutes at a time.
Use it to work out here. Stalemate there.
Hashtag Friday Night Wrestling. Jim and I inside the Cavelli Center. We got our hot dogs, no ketchup, of course. What are you eating tonight? I want to know who's got the best wings. What fan has the best wings for Friday Night Wrestling? Is it wings? Is it pizza?
Yeah, huge.
Super Bowl, of course, on Sunday. It is a huge wing weekend. Nachos, I'm sure. Of course, you got to add jalapenos to the nachos, right? You have to.
Yeah.
Kennedy keeps that front headlock. No score 2 minutes into this first period.
You mentioned the hot dog, though. This is a good place to eat a hot dog, though.
It is.
Dog to bun ratio, outstanding.
It is. They do a nice job here.
Stalemate.
There it is. Grab your dogs.
See, I got a mouthful. Shane's posing.
Love a good hot dog. Hot dogs, Friday Night Wrestling in the Big Ten.
Double underhook here by Hartzler. Fought off pretty well there by Patrick Kennedy, coming over the top and putting a lot of weight on it, and then you just can't jack him up with that position, so Hartzler moves on. Shot by Kennedy, counter shot.
Two good shots, one each.
Both these guys, Jim, it's one thing to get to the legs, it's another thing to get through the hips and finish.
Both guys.
Short time, 20 seconds. Kennedy was a 4-time Minnesota State champion at Casson Manorville.
Red's choice,
and for Hartzler, a 2-time state champion at Olentangy Liberties from Powell, Ohio. Both these guys ranked in the top 5 in the country, and they are scoreless after 3 minutes.
Bottom. Red's down.
Hartzler's choice, I think he's going to go ahead and take the down position.
Mentioned Hartzler, an All-American in 2022. He was 7th, then down at 165. Lost in the blood round at the national tournament in 2023. Was injured in 2024. Last season made the national tournament once again, but failed to earn All-American status. Works up to his feet.
Nice
Good
job
return from Kennedy.
Yeah, nice job of following right there. He's got the arm split, but Kennedy was able to kind of chase that down with his lower body. Get his feet moving.
Hartzler with the escape.
Yeah, good job, quick turn. And sometimes in the bottom position, it's called defense for a reason. You just got to hold position. Now, Kennedy in on a shot real quickly below the knee. He's able to pop up a little bit, give himself an opportunity to go ahead and compete here. Hartzler coming back over the side, and a quick stoppage there.
Potentially dangerous.
Yeah.
You need time? You need time?
That was tough.
We're on my time.
Hartzler really tried to dive across. May have done some damage to himself in the process.
And this is going to be injury time, which means that Kennedy will have choice.
Yeah, you see, watch, focus on his left knee, which is right there, that knee that he has comes across, and Kennedy pulls down on it one more time, and I think something gave at that point. You can see his face right there. Hopefully it's just a cramp or something.
Carson Hartzler has battled some injuries during his time in Columbus as they work on his left knee. On Big Ten Plus, Minnesota and Rutgers in Piscataway inside Jersey Mike's Arena. Max McAnally and Shane Cartagena-Walsh. McAnally looking for a takedown on a single leg, chases down the other leg and gets the takedown to score 3 more. Earlier, Aiden Smith against Jory Volk tacks on some points and gets the 7-2 decision. Biggest win of his young career.
Now with the injury time there, Kennedy's going to have choice. He's going to go ahead and take the bottom position. Hartzler not known for maybe being as much of a rider.
That injury time could prove really critical for Hartzler. We are tied 1-1 because Kennedy will have the choice in the third period. Has that front headlock, now goes 2-on-1.
That's what he does as well as anybody in the country, is that he'll come off that 2-on-1 and really make you work to get your balance, to be able to square up. And if you take one of those half shots on Kennedy, he's going to feed you the hips.
Iowa looking for its 3rd straight victory. We began at 157, of course. In the national duels, we began at 125. Ohio State won the first 5. Different circumstances here on this Friday night in Columbus. Half a minute showing in this second period.
Wrestle here, man. Work through this.
I'll tell you what, you wrestle Patrick Kennedy, Jim, your neck is going to feel it the next day.
No question about it. It's going to push you around. The window's just slammed shut, okay? From the top down, it's like a... Basically, you try to dive right through there, he's going to catch you right there, snapping down. His chest lowers, legs get back, and it doesn't look like the
Sunday, Seymour Wrestling live on Big Ten Plus when the Hawkeyes lock up with the Spartans. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on. What is wrong with her? Who is this woman? Who is this?
She's hungry.
Ketchup on the hot dog, Jim?
That's great. Hey, to each his own.
I'll tell you what, you saw that look on Tom Brand's face?
Yeah,
maybe a little bit of a look of concern. It's not because of the wrestling. He sees her too in the stands.
Yeah.
Ketchup on a hot dog. Come on, man.
Nice job by Kennedy there, peeling off to one side and turning into the arm that's around the waist right there, basically around the leg. Gets the good quick escape. So, that extra escape and opportunity looms large here in this match between these two guys. But
3 escapes in this match.
But what I like about it, though, is that you've got there's a deficit here. One guy's going to, with that 3-point takedown, you can make up for that pretty quickly here. We'll see what Hartzler's best shots are. Snap downs.
Offense, man.
This match going pretty much how we expected it to be. A lot of hand fighting, guys heavy with the hands.
But we expect it to be a 1-1 match, at this point.
Right into that underhook.
Almost able to rip him off right there.
Down to 50 seconds. Another shot there from Hartzler, a little bit deeper this time on a single leg.
He's got his hands locked. Now he's going to put his hand. It's a good position to be able to lock the bottom leg right there on his side. Problem is Kennedy's locked up pretty deep in the crotch.
Down to 30 seconds here in regulation.
Will you focus on trying to get the neutral danger call?
And now he makes the turn. But Kennedy has that reverse grip on the right leg.
Got his wrist controlled right there. Can he go ahead and... It's awful tight for Kennedy. It's almost impossible to slip a half.
Final seconds. And for the second time this season, Patrick Kennedy defeats Carson Hartschlaw. Tonight it's on senior nights as Kennedy improves to 12-1 on the season. And the Hawkeyes get their third straight decision to open up this dual meet. Iowa out in front, 9-0.
First for Iowa, 184 pounds, a sophomore from Albany, Georgia.
Another hard-fought, gritty victory. 184 pounds. It's 8th-ranked Dylan Fishback for the Buckeyes, and Gabe Arnold. Still no Angelo Ferrari for the Hawkeyes. Dylan Fishback out of Aurora, Ohio, was a state champion at Aurora High School. Began his career at North Carolina State, where he was a 2-time national qualifier. Fell in the blood round at the national tournament in both 2024 and 2025. Lost on Sunday to Brock Mantanona 4-1. Of his 5 losses, 4 are in overtime.
Yeah, we saw that match last week here against Mantanona from Michigan, and it looked like that Fishback was going to go ahead and get a takedown right at the edge of the mat. Kind of turned the wrong way, and Mantanona kind of pulled it out of his, the rabbit out of the hat. Right, exactly. and he ended up scoring right at the end, a big, huge mat return, and what we thought was going to be Fishback's score ended up going the other direction.
Gabe Arnold, 10-3 this season, and he's done a great job with the circumstances, of course. Wrestling at 174, 184, 197.
And I've said this before, but I think he's gotten better. We had an opportunity to see him at the Soldier Salute. He got second in that weight class at like 174. It's a pretty good wrestler from Navy. But, he ended up going out there, and I just thought I see more offense from him. We saw him last year end up doing a lot of, out front posing a little bit and not really getting to many of his shots. But we've seen him, even with situations where he's had the lead, go out there and try to attack. And I think this has been a good year for him to get this type of experience, and it's a lot of good competition. He's been in big meet situations, and he's improving. Low shot right there by Fishback, and there's you see the power of Gabe Arnold. Yeah.
Now improved.
Georgia native Arnold, a 2-time national prep champ at Wyoming Seminary, then went to Iowa City High, won a state title in 2023. No score, 1:15 to go in the first.
Working off that elbow tie and collar, and when you have that elbow tie and collar, you can go ahead and kind of crunch the both of them together and start marching the guy around a little bit. Arnold controlling
center for me.
The mat.
1 minute.
Both guys really been in the center.
Fishback this season won the Clarion Open. Gabe Arnold was a finalist at the Soldier Salutes. At 174, fell to Danny Wask of the Naval Academy, 4-1 in sudden victory. Arnold trying to fight his way out of a front headlock by the Buckeye. Fishback clears the tie with 35 ticks in the first.
And Wask was the person that beat Gabe Arnold.
30 seconds.
Yes.
Tell you what, that's a great event.
Wrestle out of it.
Just sidebar here just for a second. That Soldier Salute, what a good job. They do a great job of running that thing. I know you didn't have the Iowa starting lineup in there this year, but you know what? That's not always going to be the case. That's a great event, and love it that the fact that the Service Academy showed up for that.
Final seconds. First period in the book. I'll be back in Coralville Extreme Arena on Sunday for the 4 duels. You can watch those on Big Ten Plus. Arnold will go on bottom. Arnold's 3 losses this season. Fell to Levi Haynes 4-2 down at 174.
Hold there, red.
Lost in sudden victory to Max McAnally 4-1 at 184. And I mentioned Wask earlier at the Soldier Salute.
Ooh,
One
nice
green
job
escape.
by
Nice quick escape.
Yeah, balancing on his head for a split second right there. Kind of unconventional, but it worked. Quick
Penn
escape.
State winning earlier tonight against Michigan. The Nittany Lions undefeated. Of course, Ohio State and Penn State next Friday right here on the Big Ten Network inside the Bryce Jordan Center in what could be a 1-versus-2 showdown. Fishback again with that front headlock, but Iowa has come out quickly, leading at 9-0.
And when you're in a tight match like this, Shane, you want to try to get to your go-to shot, man. And if you can't get it, you want to try to wear the opponent down a little bit, so that maybe he tires a little bit in the end. Heavy collar tie. They have had a takedown here before that peek out, or after that peek out shot, but this is the second week in a row where Fishback looks like he's 99% in a takedown situation, and he loses it. So that's what's offered here. A peek out right here. It peeks out, comes back over the top. Arnold does not give up in that situation, but weight is on the hands. Are they going to call that? Because he did have weight on his hands right there. I don't know if he was all the way behind at that point.
And keep in mind, Jim, it was called a takedown.
Yeah, for Arnold.
Tom Bryan is holding the brick, which leads me to believe that they are just
right there
monitoring this. The officials are able to look at the video at their discretion at any point.
Did he have the takedown before the roll started?
This is a humongous call in this duel meets. Tom Bryan and Ohio State fans, of course, want the 3. You see Jordan Williams, Patrick Kennedy. This is an interesting call, and it is a big call.
Well, unlike last week, you could make a case for this takedown. Really a tough call.
They continue to view the monitor in that last sequence.
Now, the referees may have decided just to look at it on their own.
Tom Bryan holding that challenge brick leads me to believe that's the case.
It is a challenge.
There you see Dylan Fishback. He had a heartbreaking loss against Michigan last Sunday.
After review, the call on the mat has changed. It's 3 Ohio State.
And they give the takedown to Dylan Fishback, and this duel meet has turned on a dime in Columbus.
Wow. Tough call. And I mean, it's just a tough call to make either way. That was that close. But I think, he had him spread out a little bit. He had weight on his hands. And that roll started just a little late.
And that call has ignited this Covelli Center crowd. Dylan Fishback gets the win. That peek out.
Yep, and
it took him a takedown.
Shano, it took him a while to get to his hands, right, before he started that roll, and I think that was the difference. He went from his elbows up to his hands. That was enough time for reaction before that roll started. What a match.
9-3. Iowa leading